Remember when Reed Richards was the smartest man in the Marvel Universe? When Johnny Storm was cocky, Ben Grimm was gruff, and Sue Storm had actual character development instead of just being handed everything from day one? Well, forget all that, because Marvel just confirmed what we've all been dreading. Introducing the new leader of the Fantastic Four, Sue Storm, Secretary General of the United Nations, Girlboss extraordinaire, and apparently the only person in the MCU allowed to make decisions. Get ready for the Fantastic Four First Steps, another MCU disaster. What's up, fellow geeks and movie masochists? Welcome back to The Critical Nerd. I'm your humble host, Chris, and this is where we roast the MCU harder than Johnny Storm's stunt double. Big shout out to our 29,000 plus subscribers out there. A wholehearted thank you to each and every one of you. If you're new here, smash that like button and subscribe before Marvel turns the Silver Surfer into a TikTok influencer. Now, let's talk about how Marvel took Mr. Fantastic and turned him into Mr. Fantastic who? That's right, folks. Sue Storm is now officially the leader of the Fantastic Four. Not Reed Richards, the man literally known as Mr. Fantastic. And canonically, one of the smartest people in the Marvel Universe. According to producer Grant Curtis, Sue Storm is, and I quote, arguably the leader of the Fantastic Four because without Sue Storm, everything just falls apart. Well, really now? Without Sue Storm, everything falls apart. Well, I guess by that logic, the Thing is also the leader because without him, everything falls apart too. Hell, why not make Johnny Storm the leader? It's almost like, stay with me here for a second, folks. They're called the Fantastic Four for a reason. But, nah, we can't have that pesky source material getting in the way of modern sensibilities now, can we? Let's break down this galaxy brain take from producer Grant Curtis. He claims the film will reflect modern sensibilities. Translation: bend over, source material. It's 2025 and you're about to get retconned. I mean, this whole phrase, modern sensibilities, that's MCU code for male lead gets dumber, women inherit the franchise, and audiences, well, they get bored. Yeah. Meanwhile, over at Collider, they were quick to frame past portrayals as products of more male-gazing era of filmmaking. I mean, I don't know about you guys, but heaven forbid people enjoyed looking at Jessica Alba as Sue Storm. I mean, what a terrible crime against humanity that was. And you know what? Yeah, those Jessica Alba movies, yeah, they weren't perfect by any stretch of the imagination. But at least they understood basic team dynamics and didn't lecture us about gender politics while watching superpowers fight cosmic threats. Yeah. So let's talk about Vanessa Kirby here for a second, who, I guess, out-nerded everyone in the room during her Marvel meeting, getting super into cellular vibration frequency. Wow. Much quantum. Very physics. Because nothing says Fantastic Four like a lecture from a quantum physics podcast. Meanwhile, Reed Richards is over here in the corner reading Baby First Engineering Manual. Yeah. And it wouldn't be modern Marvel without open contempt for the comics. Kirby laughed in an interview about old Sue Storm comic panels. You know, the one where Reed buys Sue a dress. Because, I mean, nothing is more offensive than, a husband buying his wife a gift. She called those portrayals outdated and chuckled with Pedro about it. I mean, glad to know Marvel's leading duo thinks their own source material is cringe. Here's a thought. Just maybe. Acknowledge the comics were a product of their time without staring at them like you're better than 60 years of character development. But wait. Yes, it gets better. Director Matt Shakman has revealed that Sue will be the lead or the head of the Future Foundation in the movie. You know, that fictional think tank responsible for global peace initiatives and advanced scientific research? According to sources, she's essentially the Secretary General of the UN. I mean, come on. let me get this straight. Sue Storm is not only the leader of the Fantastic Four, but she's running the entire world. She's pregnant, she's a superhero, she's a wife, she's a sister, and she's the most powerful person on the planet. Ladies and gentlemen, we have ourselves a grade A Mary Sue here. And I mean that literally because her name is Sue. This is what happens when writers confuse strong female character with perfect at everything character who never struggles or fails. You know what made Sue Storm interesting in the comics? Anyone? She had strengths and weaknesses. She was part of a team. Then there's Pedro Pascal, Mr. Fantastic, who says he loves being led by powerful women. Of course he does. That's the Marvel HR approved answer. Blink twice if Kevin Feige has you on a contract that zaps you from mentioning male leadership. Early reports describe Pascal's read as less than fantastic, Joseph Quinn's Human Torch as milquetoast, and Ben Grimm, the Thing, as having a high-pitched voice and baking in an apron. Meanwhile, Sue Storm is pregnant, running the UN, mastering quantum mechanics, and probably moonlighting as a barista Laveria. Because heaven forbid we have a male character who is actually allowed to lead without immediately genuflecting to the nearest female character. Reed Richards, the man who's outsmarted Galactus, who saved the universe multiple times, let's make him a supporting character in his own movie. This is the same pattern we've seen over and over again. Take an established male character, strip away everything that made him interesting and competent, and prop up a female character by comparison. It's not empowering women, it's lazy writing disguised as progressivism. And this isn't new. We saw this with Captain Marvel, who was supposed to be the new leader of the Avengers. Then with She-Hulk, Echo, Miss Marvel, Ironheart, America Chavez, and on and on and on and on. Every time Marvel does this, audiences, they reject it. Every single time. The Marvels flopped. Miss Marvel got buried on D+. Echo was dumped at midnight like a shameful secret. And now here we go again as the Fantastic Four becomes the Sue Storm show, guest starring 3 guys in the background. Back in 2018, Kevin Feige flat out said he wanted more female heroes than male. And here we are, 7 years later, watching Disney replace every male legacy character with a modernized alternative. Let's see, we've seen it with Thor, Hawkeye, Hulk, Doctor Strange, and now Mr. Fantastic himself. The Fantastic Four isn't about balance anymore. It's about reshuffling the cast until every franchise feels like the Marvels. And here's the real tragedy in all this. Sue Storm herself, great character. She's always been powerful, but she was part of a team. Her arc growing from the least powerful to the heart and soul of the Fantastic Four. That was compelling because she wasn't perfect. Now she's a Mary Sue in every sense of the word. Literally. Again, her name is Sue. She's a mother, a scientist, a boss, a hero, a world leader, and probably running Disney by next Thursday. Meanwhile, Reed Richards gets to stand in the background and clap. The Invisible Woman's journey from the least powerful member of the team to one of the most formidable was organic character development that happened over years of storytelling. She grew into her power while maintaining her role as the heart of the family. But, that's not good enough for modern Hollywood. She has to be the boss from day one. She has to be perfect at everything. She has to run the world while being pregnant and fighting cosmic threats. It's exhausting, and it's insulting to both the character and the audience. So, what can we expect from Fantastic Four First Steps based on everything I've just laid out here and everything we've heard on via the internet? Well, Reed Richards will be portrayed as incompetent or secondary. Sue Storm will solve every problem and save the day. The male characters will provide emotional support and comic relief, and anyone who criticizes the film will be labeled as sexist. And when the movie inevitably underperforms, Disney will blame, again, toxic fans instead of taking responsibility for the creative choices. At this point, the only thing fantastic about this movie is how spectacularly it's going to implode. Fantastic Four first steps, more like first faceplant. Marvel took their first family and turned them into a corporate checklist with superpowers. Instead of honoring Sue Storm as the amazing character she already is, they're rewriting her into a perfect icon while neutering everyone else around her. Now look, I've said this about Superman, I'm going to say this about Fantastic Four. I want the Fantastic Four to succeed. I grew up, back in the day, long time ago, reading these comics. But I want them to succeed by being true to what made them great in the first place, not by turning them into vehicles for modern political messaging. Sue Storm doesn't need to be the leader or to be important. Reed Richards doesn't need to be diminished for her to shine. The Fantastic Four work because they're a family, with each member bringing something unique to the table. Mark your calendars, folks. July 25th, 2025. That's when Disney once again learns that comic fans aren't interested in lecturers dressed up as superhero movies. So, what do you guys think? Are you excited to see Sue Storm lead the Fantastic Four? Or are you as tired as I am of watching Marvel destroy everything that made these characters special? Let me know in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this breakdown, again, hit that like button, subscribe for more content, and ring that notification bell, because as long as Hollywood keeps making these baffling creative decisions, I'll be here to talk about them. Until next time, this has been your humble host, Chris, the Critical Nerd, reminding you that sometimes the best way to support the characters you love is to refuse to accept inferior versions of them. Thanks for watching. The Critical Nerd, out.